Okay. We understand that there is a great burden of disease, and CVDs have become a public health problem.
Problem number
Therefore,
one.
we understand that there is emergence of the field of preventive cardiology.
Yes,
So people who are new to preventive cardiology, basically, it is the application of both clinical and preventive medicine to cardiology at the individual level and at the population level.
yes,
And overall, the aim of preventive cardiology is to help prevent the occurrence of the disease in apparently healthy individuals who are at risk for cardiovascular disease. At the
yes,
same time, preventive cardiology also is important for those who already have CVD to prevent the progression of the disease, prevent recurrence, and also prevent death in these individuals. So, if we have to summarize what preventive cardiology is, it is a field of cardiology that aims to improve both the life expectancy and the quality of life in those who are at risk of developing CVD and heart failure and patients with established disease.
you
So,
may take it one step backward.
yeah. So,
So you can
we
say
have to add something to
primordial
this.
prevention, primary prevention, secondary prevention.
Correct.
So primordial prevention would be that you don't let your children actually develop risk factors. So you actually preempt the disease. There may be many people who may be diabetic or hypertensive but may not develop the disease because you've controlled it. So very rightly you have said that's primary prevention. And the secondary prevention is in those people who had a stroke or MI or a PTC or a bypass procedure. But more and more internationally, people are recognizing that if we can catch our younger ones much earlier and not let these risk factors develop. Of course, nobody can do anything about the family history. But apart from that, all other risk factors are controllable. Smoking, high blood pressure, diabetes, non-sedentary life, all these things we can control. And diet plays a hugely important role in our setting. You put it very well.
Right.
Now, if I know these risk factors by imaging techniques like intermedial thickness or flow-mediated vasodilatation or by calcium score, I can actually detect the disease much earlier. And in many patients, I can tell the person that even though you may have risk factors, you actually do not have the seeds of the disease. So, to my mind, these disease states or these subjects are actually interwoven and should be taken out and it should be spoken of in one word rather than we differentiate them. Why? Because if I'm a preventive person dealing with preventive cardiology, the first thing I will ask the person is what is the person's body mass index? What is the high blood pressure levels? What is the so I can detect all this by imaging techniques. So what I feel is that the time has come that but for the cath lab, we should have cardiologists who can deal with these problems at the same time in an interwoven fashion, which is easier for the patient. And also, along with that, they can give total advice to the patient. And also look at acute cardiac care patients who present with acute MI. Acute MIs will continue to come for another generation till our efforts come into focus and people start. A diabetic patient doesn't get a heart checkup. Why? He deserves it. He needs it because 60% of people with diabetes are actually going to have a heart attack. That's why I'm saying that I have interwoven this into clinical, preventive, and non-invasive non-invasive cardiology, so that this one person actually knows all.
Right.
That's the background of it.